In 2010, 6 political parties with representatives in parliament formed a group called the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue to address the political challenges facing the country. The parties included DP, CP, UPC, FDC, GEMA and the NRM. IPOD, as the group was referred to, was funded by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy. Many observers hoped the group would help introduce political reforms in parliament. But some opposition members argue that the ruling NRM party has over the past 5 years been using its numerical strength to undermine the consensus built by other political parties in the loose coalition.
IPOD was also intended to engage in discussions that promote democracy, rule of law, good governance and having consensus. Unfortunately, that has not been achieved.
In fact, when we sat together and brought bills in parliament for political reforms, administrative, the NRM disowned them.
One of the key decision-making organs of IPOD is the summit, which is composed of the heads of the 6 political parties. But the leader of the Justice Forum party, Asuman Basalirwa, says they were frustrated by the NRM chairman, Museveni, for reportedly skipping their meetings.
Mr. Museveni somehow is too busy to facilitate a process or to find time to facilitate a process for discussion. And that has, in a very big way, undermined the overall objective of IPOD.
But the government chief whip, Ruth Nankabirwa, is against the move by opposition parties to dissolve IPOD now that some of the other parties are not represented in parliament.
If there are things which are not going on well within the IPOD, that is what we should point out and correct them. But to abandon it completely will not help political parties, which are very young.
The National Coordinator for Citizens Coalition for Electoral Democracy, Crispy Kaheru, argues that IPOD has not been a waste of time because it managed to convince the government to start funding political parties in accordance with the Political Parties and Organizations Act of 2005.
And one of the most important clauses that I think IPOD threw its weight behind was the clause around funding for political parties by government.
So, should IPOD continue existing? Basalirwa believes it should, although he adds that other parties that do not have any representation in parliament should be included in the group.
Because IPOD is supposed to build capacity to political parties that are developing. Now, once you exclude them from the IPOD processes, you are incapacitating them.
Currently, it's only the NRM, FDC, DP and UPC that have representatives in the 10th parliament. But Crispy Kaheru is cautiously optimistic. He believes that political dialogue will only work if new goals are set and the guarantor for their implementation secured. Habad Ziwa, NTV.